Hi, I'm Andrew Geller from Financial Systems Advisors, and I'm here to show you how to use data in finance to grow your business. This is part two of a two-part series called Predicting the Future, where we're going to forecast your cash flows in a financial model, find your valuation, and show you how to use that to make decisions. And to recap from last time, navigating growth can be like following the signs. You know you have a destination, you jump on the highway, you head north. Uh, as you move along, you see signs, you get information, and you follow it. And you know what? That's great. Maybe you get to your destination that way. But most people prefer to use a map. Now, a map is a model of reality. It's a model of our geographical spatial reality. And what it does is, like any model, it simplifies reality so that we can make better decisions in reality. But of course, nobody uses a map anymore. Everyone uses a GPS. What is a GPS? A GPS is that map, the model of reality, plus data. So at Financial Systems Advisors, we are trying to build you your financial model, which is your map, feed it with data so that you have your GPS for growth. What is a financial model? A financial model is something that simplifies a business into cash flow so that it makes it simpler for owners and employees to make profitable decisions. So what we're going to do is actually look at the financial model that we built. It's for a company called All Scream for Ice Cream. It's a simple example, data collection, financial modeling. They got all sorts of data tables, but we're not going to go over that because we did that last time. But what we can do is go to the dashboard, and where we left off was that we asked a question. Now that we had all this information, how can we use it to grow? So we looked at this graph, which is average monthly profit per outlet by product and channel, meaning per store that exists, what's the average profit from ice cream or from soft serve or from sorbet? The truck, as we can see, is only serving soft serve, and the retailers are serving ice cream and sorbet, and they're not serving soft serve. So we asked the question, what if our retailers serve soft serve? We asked another question, which was if we were going to expand geographically. And we looked here in the east and the west, they only have trucks. They don't have stores or retail. And we see that the stores are most of the profit for here and more than 50% of the profit in the south. So what if we added a store to the east and the west? Okay, so now let's look at the financial model in order to understand what we're doing. So this is the financial model. What we're doing is forecasting every single part of your business, from customer acquisition to the quantities sold to the revenue, the expenses. But how are we getting these numbers? That's the question. Well, we make inputs, and these are based on these inputs, and we have data that feeds the inputs. For example, when we want to see the quantities, what we have here is we call this a query. A query is how we ask the model for data. So we have this query, and it tells us for every retailer, or for total for the retailers, there's 21,000 ice creams sold. They don't sell soft serve, and they sell 14,000 sorbets. And if there's two retailers, two stores, two trucks, we can figure out basically per store the quantities. Now we can use these quantities for the future. The thing is, we don't have to. If you see here, the average price per unit for retail, here it's 188 if we look at the data, but we know that we're going to raise the price to $2, so we're going to use the future price here. So, I mean, to go back a step, for customer acquisition, we could build a whole model with sales and all sorts of different marketing strategies. We kept it simple here. We said they're opening stores and they're getting retailers at these different dates. So this is the starting point because this is how we're selling our ice cream. So first we look in the model and we can see based on those inputs, this is how we're going to grow the business. We can see how everything is growing according to the way that our model set out. Now, the quantity sold, well, we just talked about that it came straight from the data. And again, the cost per unit also straight from the data. So, and the prices, of course. And so therefore you can see here the quantity sold in stores for ice cream, soft serve, and sorbet, for retailers, for trucks. This is how we're getting these numbers. We're using the prices to get the revenue multiplied by the quantities sold. And we got the variable expenses here. Now, of course, there are fixed expenses, which we can model out also. So if we look here, for every 100,000 units, you're going to need a manufacturing facility, and the rent's going to be about 10,000, about 10,000, and the bill's about 1,000, and to open it's going to be 15,000. Now we can change these. It doesn't matter. It's whatever we think it's going to be. So I just put 18 there for opening costs. So now let's look at the model. Let's look at the manufacturing. Um, Here we go. Total manufacturing facilities. So there's two we need throughout this whole thing, two until eventually we need three. And every time we open up a new one, we're going to need $18,000, which is what we just put in. And if we do that same thing for the rent for the stores, well, we can see all this. We know that these two, the North and the South branch, don't have opening costs because they're already open. So we only care about the future. And of course, there's going to be employees that you need for each of these stores and each of these manufacturing facilities. So we can see the rent and bills for all the stores as they open up, the opening costs, all the rent, and of course, all the employees. So that's how we put that all together in order to get a cash flow statement. Now, I'm going to go back a step and I'm going to talk about something called dividends. So, what are dividends? Dividends are the money that owners keep from the profits. If you make some profit, that's the money that you get to take home and spend it on whatever you want to spend it on. And really, this is the number that's important. The rest of these numbers are all just coming down to this number because you're the entrepreneur and we want money in your pocket. So, what we do is we forecast these dividends into the future. We use our financial model just like we did here, and we find out what the net income is. What in this case we used 50% for a dividend payout ratio, meaning 50% of dividends are going to be 50% of net income is going to be paid out in dividends. And then we forecast it throughout the future. Now, we don't just forecast it. We have to discount the future values to today. Why? There's a concept called the time value of money. And what it says is that money today is worth more than money tomorrow. And I'll give you a quick example. If I offered you $100 today or $100 in 10 years from now, which one would you choose? You clearly choose the money today. So money today is worth more than $100 in a year, is worth more than $100 in 10 years. So we have to apply different discounts to each of these timelines of dividends. And once we've done that, we get the valuation by summing all of these discounted dividends together. So that's what we've done here. We forecasted the dividends all the way into the future. We've done the discounts for all of them. And then if you look at this number here, that's our valuation for your whole firm, which is trying to say today, what is the value of all of your future cash flows today after applying all these discounts? Now, keep in mind this number, it's about 8,881,000. If we go to the inputs, this is exactly the number just linked there. And we're going to go to one of our questions, which was, should we add soft serve to retail? So let's say we can reasonably sell for $1.75 each soft serve ice cream to retailers. And let's say we estimate there's going to be about 5,000 sales per retailer. Okay. Sounds like a lot to me. Sounds good. But if we look at the valuation, boom, it went down by a little less than $1 million, which it doesn't make sense. We just sold 5,000 more per retailer per month. How does it go down? Well, if we look at the financial model, and this is why we have a financial model, we can see that the manufacturing facilities, before you needed 3 at the max, now you need 4 at the max, which means also more employees. So basically, your revenues went up, but your expenses went up higher. So this is how we use valuation to make decisions. Let's see if we put 10,000 here. Um, okay. So now it went up by, if I remember, our baseline was about 8.8 million. So it went up by about half a million. Question is, can we actually sell 10,000 in soft serve ice cream? I mean, that's its own question that we can collect data for and do marketing analysis and stuff like that. But the point is, now you have a mathematical framework about how to grow your business. You can see how your decisions are affecting your wealth overall. Now, just to reiterate, what we want to do is build you your financial model plus data to give you your GPS for growth. And an advanced system here would look something like this, where you have a lot of different data sources, and those data sources are being funneled into a data warehouse. We use Google BigQuery. From there, we can do we can get the data for the financial modeling and the data for the visualization. So your business will grow when you're empowered to make data-driven decisions. I hope you get in touch today because it would be really great to start working on your business and helping you grow. We want to see you grow. So thank you.